Obligatory podcast intro.
Hi, hello, and welcome. This is Flipping Pages with Matt and Adam. I'm Matt with my co-host Adam. This is abridged and spoiler-free. We are covering comics that started with, what did you get? B, that's right. We have I forgot. B, and I got X.
Yeah. B, I found that had a good selection of comics.
There's a bit.
A lot of the Hellboy spin-off, the BRPD.
Oh, yeah.
Because I guess they're cheap or something. I don't know why there's so many of that one specifically.
And a little character called Batman.
Yeah, I just didn't even look at a single Batman one.
Yeah, no, this is, why would you? Unless you had one in mind and was like, I'm covering that one, there's no point in looking. This is too much.
I was just like, it's so overwhelming. Can you imagine being a kid and see a Batman movie and get super obsessed and be like, I'm going to go buy comics of Batman, and then walk in there or look it up online?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being like, Batman comics, or every Batman comic, it would say 50,000 comics or whatever.
Issues. Where do you start?
Right. So mine was B. It was called Bad Blood.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Dark Horse Comics. The writer is Jonathan Mayberry, and the art is by Tyler Crook. So this is
cool name.
The art, and this is watercolors for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's actually watercolor on paper or if it's a digital.
I think when I saw it, it looked digital. It didn't look like. Also, when you said it on the show, when you said watercolor, I pictured something totally different. So when I did look at it, I was surprised. And yeah, it does look digital watercolor. Maybe the effect is
possible.
Put on it.
Very possible. I'm not sure.
Could be completely and 100% wrong about that.
Yeah, no. I almost feel like we're probably wrong for sure. Because first of all, we don't know shit about art.
No, definitely not art critics.
That's for sure. And I definitely couldn't tell the difference between completely hand-done art and digital art. Or a mix of the two.
Yeah, right.
I can't figure it out.
I played a game called Jotun.
Yeah.
And it was all hand-drawn, and I didn't realize it till about halfway through.
That's cool.
Then I looked at, why does this look so good? And I looked it up, found out it was all hand-drawn.
Okay.
Blew me away. So, yeah, definitely don't know. Definitely couldn't do it either. So,
no, definitely not. No, my stick figures are pretty bad, too. So, this comic is set in 2014, 2015, something like that. It is a story about a guy named Trick. Yeah, it's a story of Trick, who has cancer. Has had cancer on and off his entire life. Mm-hmm. He's right now going through chemo again because his cancer came back, and he's feeling really shitty, physically and mentally.
Yeah,
he's not trying to off himself, you know what I mean? But he's close to feeling that bad, basically.
Yeah, right.
His friend's name is Kyle. They've been best friends for quite a while, and they're best friends, inseparable type dudes. And he says Kyle never babies him or treats him like glass or anything like that. He just treats him like he always has.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes good people will go overboard with it and try to cater and be.
Yeah. It's almost worse sometimes.
That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
He really appreciates that Kyle is just chill.
Treating him like glass. That's a good way of saying it.
Yep.
Never heard that.
Yeah. So Trick is just, like I said, super down. He's at one of the lowest points he's been at. So him and Kyle are hanging out, and it's nighttime. And they're in the football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting there at nighttime. Kyle walks away, and right after Kyle walks away, the Pope vampire pops out. I guess this is the best way, or a bishop vampire. I don't know what. He doesn't have the hat. So if you're picturing the Pope hat, then that's not
I did. Knowing he didn't have the hat, I still pictured the hat.
That's how it goes.
He's all pissed off because he's like, God, I can't afford a hat living in the sewers.
Yep.
I can't afford it. I have no mailing address.
Yeah.
I can't find one.
They don't even interact with the outside world. Oh, okay.
He's like, you have to start an account on Prime to order anything?
Who
it really
knew?
Bothers me, and I want a hat.
You have to have a home address. It's dumb.
I don't.
So dumb. Okay, so Pope vampire pops up and bites Trick, and he has a little mini monologue about how I won't live in the shadows anymore, blah, blah, blah.
Because he lives in the sewers,
He lives in the sewer. So I'm not going to go into detail because this is a spoiler-free version. But this is literally a few pages in. So he's feeding on Trick, and then almost immediately, within a second or two, he starts screaming. Not Trick, but the Pope vampire.
Yeah.
He starts screaming about how the blood is tainted. and he starts melting away.
Because the cancer, right?
Yeah, for the chemo.
Yeah.
Pope Vampire screams and hollers and runs away, and Trick is freaking out. He's not even bleeding that bad. Honestly, it's kind of weird. But Trick panics, and he gets on the phone, and he gets Kyle to answer. Kyle doesn't say anything. It's the Pope Vampire who had just run off. He saw them together before he pounced, so he knew they were friends. So he attacked Kyle and fed off of Kyle.
So was that just like because he was the first guy he saw, or was he already on this like, oh fuck this guy, I'm going to?
I'd say both.
Yeah,
that he needed to feed.
He's
and
like,
then
well,
also
this works
that's
out.
the right one. Yeah, exactly.
This turned out great.
Yeah, he even says he's like, Trick says, why are you doing this? And he goes, because you screwed me, you poisoned me. This is your fault. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna leave off on the story of it, because anymore starts getting into spoilers actually.
An adventure ensues.
Yes, yeah, etc., etc. So it's a cool comic. I like the art a lot. It's not my normal one that I would like go out of my way to find and be like, oh, this is awesome. But it complements. I know I've said it quite a few times before, but it really complements the story, and it's bright enough without being overboard. And then in the gruesome parts, it's just abstract enough where you couldn't get grossed out.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No, not really. There's a little bit of body horror in it with the guy face melting off and whatnot. Right. But past that, it's not super detailed. It's not very lifelike art, so that makes a big difference.
So not chunks, just blood
on
the floor.
Yeah.
Like
it's
that.
a big round pustule, but you
Yeah,
can't
could
see
tell
the hairs coming out of it.
Right.
Whatever.
You can tell when a comic sets out to not specifically be gory, but still tell this like adult raw story. You know?
Yeah, it doesn't do the Ren and Stimpy thing where it's like all cartoonish and then zoom in all close and you can see the pores and the pimples. And
I hated it.
Yeah, I remember you saying that before.
It really bothered me. It was gross.
The moral of the story is Bad Blood's a good comic. Check it out.
I got one called Xira. This came out in 2020. It was by Red 5 Comics.
Hell yeah.
It's a Stonebot character because it says Stonebot Comics on it. So I looked it up a little bit after our episode, and it's a Stonebot character put out by Red 5. Okay. So they did this comic, and it was written by Mauro Mantella and Diego Garibaldi.
Okay.
What it is a bunch of doctors are doing experiments on some monkeys. They kill one. You can tell that they're struggling, and they've killed quite a few, and they're really not nice about it. They're really like, this thing, we've done it 8 times.
They're
this
not
stupid
respectful.
monkey. This stupid monkey keeps getting in the box, blah, blah, blah. So they're pricks. But you find out there's this chimpanzee that is extremely smart. They've been experimenting on this chimp, basically to send it in space, collect some stuff, send it back, and then live out its days, basically slowly dying on this planet. So even with the smart ones, they're being pricks. So all the little ones, the monkeys, are dying by heart attacks. They can't handle it. Xira's the only one that's like come through the experiment. Flying colors, super smart. When it shows her, she's playing on a tablet. And apparently she loves Tetris. She's doing drawings on it. Real intelligent. What it comes down to is there's one good doctor, and he's the one that's kind of hesitant about doing all this stuff. Okay. And there's 2 other standout prick doctors.
Okay.
And one of them sitting at a desk, like smoking a cigarette, and Xira pops in behind him. And the doctor is in a room with Xira's son, a little baby chimp. Right. And basically, the guy turns around and is like, hey, go back in your cage. You need to go back. And she pulls a gun on him and shoots him in the face. So if you ever watched Planet of the Apes and thought Caesar should go way harder, they got you. Yeah. Just to let you know, that's what kind of comic this is. So, I mean, that's the whole jumping off. That's basically the whole story. It gets wild. Yeah. So I'm really not going to go any further. But that one was... It's
hard to not give spoilers in a 3-issue series.
I mean, yeah, it was 3 issues, short, quick read. The art was fine. Faces were... I actually had no problem with the faces at all. I thought the art was cool. The action scenes were insane. So it gets crazy. That's why I wanted to stop it there, because it pretty much goes bonkers after that.
Yeah, it does.
That was a cool, fun read. And in disguise, like animal rights we shouldn't test on animals and science experiments on animals is wrong. And that's like, you know, like how Shock was like, stop polluting the oceans.
Yeah.
They sneak it in under a bunch of gore and violence.
Smart.
And super hard, cool shit. The people are like, yeah. And didn't realize we just read a comic.
It's like
that
a
was,
propaganda piece. Almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like, tricked me, Adam. It tricked me.
Yeah.
It had a chimpanzee shooting a doctor in the face.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's a really good start to
I
a
was
comic.
hooked, bro. I was like, yep, this is it. And I also knew Adam was going to enjoy it because that's just cool.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in Planet of the Apes, Caesar didn't kill anybody. He actually stopped a bunch of them from killing them.
Yes,
he let the jacked up face one, Koba.
Yeah.
He let him kill the doctor at the end. He like walked away from him and let Koba like push the helicopter off. That was it. He didn't collect any bodies after that.
True.
Xira got bodies, bro.
Got a body count like a motherfucker.
It goes wild. So yeah, if you find that, yeah, pick that up. That was a fun read. We are on Instagram at Flipping Pages 24. We're on Facebook at Flipping Pages with Matt and Adam. New episodes release on all platforms on Thursday. YouTube probably Thursday.
Around that, at least.
Maybe not. I might be doing something, so
we'll see.
You know. But yeah, so that'll come out. Best way to support us: like, subscribe, follow, rate, review. That helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's the episode.
Yeah.
Abridged. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.